Welcome again, Aries. It's April 2022. Dadichi here from astrology.com.au. What a month this is going to be. I'll tell you, if you have a look at this chart here, and I'm going to animate it right now so that we can get a handle on this conjunction of Mars and Saturn. That's happening immediately, and also on the 1st of April, you can see the new moon to start the month in your sun sign. So this is a pretty important month. You've got two conflicting aspects here. One, which is this conjunction of Mars and Saturn, producing a lot of frustration, I must say, especially in this area of friendships. And of course, this Saturn rulership of your career sector ties in these relationships with your work. And also Venus here has something to say about this frustrating combination because it rules your general relationships with the world at large, important marital or spousal partnerships, and your finances too. So money and work is strongly connected. 6th of April, we see the movement of that planet that we're talking about into this 12th house of expense. And that's, in some cases, considered a pretty good transit, very luxurious, very sexy, but it's also a high expenditure placement. And we see that the trine aspect here around the 8th to Venus from your 4th house of domestic affairs may indicate expenses in that area or on your car. 4th house is also conveyances, such as vehicles and that type of thing. It's nice to see here that by the 9th of April, that Mars-Saturn combination starts to shift. It's moving away, so that gives you a little bit of a reprieve, if I could call it that. The Sun and Mercury combination is very strong here in your sun sign. That's giving you a lot of dynamic energy this month. The Sun is always revitalizing, especially for the signs like Aries, because it rules this 5th house of competitive spirit, creativity, love, energy, well-being, all of that sort of stuff. So throughout this period, up until around the 21st of April, you'll see the positive impact of that on your health. I'm keeping an eye here on your ruling planet Mars, because you see there at 29, it's going to move into the sign of Pisces, along with these other 3 planets. That's giving even more weight to that expenditure, compassion, generosity sphere of your horoscope. There it is there on the 15th. And that's going to be followed very shortly thereafter here in your 7th house with that full moon, bringing a light on your relationships. Now, this seems to be a month which shifts from that concerning Mars-Saturn combination, which is to do with your friendships, into this expenditure, charitable, compassionate area, which is also, by the way, a very spiritual part of your horoscope. So I think you'll see the second half of April focusing you on these more internalized aspects of the planetary configurations. Here around the 18th to the 20th, this Mercury-Uranus combination, and then 20th, the Sun moving into this area, brings 4 planets here into the finance area. Isn't that interesting? You've got 4 planets here in this 12th house of expense, and then these 4 planets here in the zone of income, receipts. Now these are in what we generally consider a sextile aspect. The water and the earth signs usually do well when the planets are in both of those. So that's a consolidating aspect, a friendly aspect, if we could put it that way. And maybe that shows some sort of balance between your expenditures and your income. Maybe the net result won't be all that exciting, because if you're earning money and it's going out the other end just as quickly, then that 12th house area is something you have to be a little bit mindful of and careful not to let it, overtake your sensibilities. Mars is a very, very rash, impulsive sort of planet. And you're still seeing here, because of the connection of Venus in this luxurious, we call Venus in the 12th, exalted, by the way, in Pisces, a luxurious combination, one that shows a desire to spend money, to, get into the retail therapy. And with Mars being impulsive, it tells us that that's something you must be mindful of, even though you have this combined influence of Mercury, Uranus, and the Sun. Now, Uranus here, and especially with the Sun making contact there, is very much a sudden or unexpected turn of events in the financial area of your life. So that can be expected towards the last few days of April, and may even continue into the next month of May. Let me just go back there, because then I'm in the wrong month. But there's the combination. That's a very, very powerfully weighted combo there in the 12th house. These are the dominant features, and the second house, with that new moon on the 1st, full moon on the 17th, across the relationship axis. These are the areas that are going to be particularly focused. By the way, you'll notice right at the end of the month there, Pluto in your career sector going into its stationary motion. So a lot of dynamic, also manipulative energy starting to be felt in the area of your work. Take a look at astrology.com.au. Don't forget to subscribe. Drop me a line if you want. I'm always available to respond to any of those messages that you may have. Communication is really the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is why I want you to contact me. Mercury in the 3rd house, just as the month ends. See you next month. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.